really robbing us right now?
It ain't nothing personal. Everybody can get it. Come on.
Okay, you know what? You want the shoes?
Mm-hmm.
Have the shoes, Cheyenne. Take the damn shoes.
Okay. Oh, no, you keep them, Issa. Keep them.
But hey!
Hey, shit change, bitch!
Hello and welcome back to Insecurity, the official recap podcast for HBO's Insecure. I'm Crissle.
And I'm Hey Fran, hey.
That's right. And we're back for season 5.
Oh,
this is it, girl.
This is it. That's so crazy how quickly it went. But you know what? It felt so good to see the gang back once this first episode kicked in.
It did. And I have a feeling that these next 2.5 months are going to absolutely fly by. We will not even know what happened. But let's dive right into it. Kelly is in the back seat, gasping, very dramatically while scrolling across her various timelines. And she calls it a Groundhog's Day of fuck shit.
Relatable
I
content.
have to say, every now and then, there's a day on social media where I'm like, I'm going to log off because you niggas have done
Every
8
now
times
and
the
then.
usual.
It's more like what hour of the day?
Friends, like it's literally every day. But yes, Kelly's in the back seat of this road trip with Tiffany and Derek, and the conversation quickly turns to Molly and how she's been being very weird on Instagram since her breakup 2 months ago with Andrew.
So it lets us know where
bitch
we're
is
at.
over here.
She didn't even heal yet.
Artistically posing. Right.
I mean, you still in
No,
bed,
you definitely
in the dark,
yes.
not getting dressed or showering 2 months in. I feel for her. I get it.
You're still going through it because you're doing the weird Picasso pictures and posting that shit like it's deep and finding these quotes talking about stars can't shine without darkness and shit. Yeah, you still in
Derek
it.
said it's not deep. He's such a supportive friend.
I mean, you're making points, but Tiffany don't want to talk about nobody's shit, okay? Nobody's mess, not Issa's messy mess. She just wants to focus on her man and her good time and her AKA, and that is it.
And I had to remember where we left off with her. Remember, she was going through it. Remember, they had to find her in the hotel. So I get her. She's like, we've all been through a lot, and the last thing I want to do is spend a weekend focusing on Molly, focusing on Issa. Let's just have fun.
Right.
Let's have fun.
Exactly.
For once.
Well, while them niggas, yes, are driving to the fun, Issa is at the San Francisco airport and immediately gets into the wrong vehicle because
awkward black girl. But can we talk about her outfit?
Oh, you would. You would.
It just, you know what
Go
it
ahead.
was? She looked so cute. It was like, we've seen Issa on the struggle bus for most of this season. Well, really most of the seasons. Between all
series.
her jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, just her trying to figure it out and get grounded. So it was cool to kind of see her, that little glow up vibe. That's what she was giving when she walked out the airport. Going to her car service.
And she got in all smooth like she do car service every week. And this ain't no big deal. Like she's used to car service. She did it like it was absolutely expected for her to be there, and she fit right in. And, it's just unfortunate that she was completely wrong about the correct vehicle time. Oh, y'all don't talk in the mornings no more? Bitch, if you don't get out of here and find your fucking car.
She's such a mess. Even in the moment of flyness.
Yes, Insecure is back. Insecure is back. And now we see what's going on. Issa is pumping across the courtyard in her Stanford sweatshirt, and it's reunion weekend.
Okay, so
Very
now
fun.
I got it. But here's a question I had for you. Did we know that they all went to Stanford together? Because I felt like I kind of knew her and Molly did, but I didn't know it was like a gang thing where the whole cast met in college.
Right. I'm not sure if it's ever been spelled out explicitly like this before. I would have to say no, because otherwise we would probably remember
Have caught
it.
that,
But
yeah.
I think they've talked enough about college times and like random references and stuff like that we probably should have known.
Right, but
old. But yeah. I mean, now we're seeing it. Everybody is checking in, and Issa's greeting everybody, but of course things are still a little bit strained with Molly. We all remember how that shit went.
That was
last
a very
season.
dry hello between them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay.
It was like, oh,
hey,
girl.
how you doing? Looking nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just so happened to have on the exact same outfit and everything. And Derek is kind of going through this alumni book that they give you when you go to these events. And all of a sudden, Kelly walks up talking about how they didn't have her registration. So her name tag is handwritten. And Issa can't relate, girl. She's a panelist.
Okay.
That's why she got flued out.
But the block.
Her shit is printed. Yes, she got a lanyard.
Come on, lanyard.
That's right. She's so official now. In fact, she is so official that she cannot even remember what the block stands for.
Which kind of blew me because it wasn't complicated.
It's not. Right.
But, you know, Issa gone Issa.
Talking about I'm going to learn it. But this is the name of your company.
That
so
you
for me,
made
this
up.
was a big red
That
flag.
you made up. Girl.
But you know what? Her friends are very supportive and everybody is hyping her up about the block and how dope this panel is going to be. And they start walking around campus looking like the diversity brochure.
Sure did.
They came to have a good time at the reunion, and they are going to do exactly that. So while they're walking, Molly mentions that Dr. Rhonda said this would be a good chance for her to disconnect and try to stay present in the moment. And I am, for one, so grateful to hear that Dr. Rhonda is still employed.
That's what I was thinking.
And
In
still
that
working.
moment, I was happy to
Yes.
hear that Dr. Rhonda was still
Yes.
around. Come on, Molly.
Right. Right. Molly don't know how to chill the fuck out, but she gonna try, which very relatable for me as well. Learning these things in therapy is one thing. Actually putting them into practice is another.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and, you know, it takes time. It takes patience. And meanwhile, their other classmates have brought their hordes of children. And
Tiffany was like, should we have
Tiffany
brought
and
ours?
Derek.
He's like, hell no.
Hell no, we should not have. We left her ass at home. And that is where she will remain
Mhm.
until we get back. This weekend is for us. So yeah, Derek's flipping through his little book and he finds the in memoriam page. And now we see why Kelly did not get a fucking name tag, don't we?
Okay, first of all, what?
Absurd.
Right, babe, this weekend is for us, remember? Oh, shit.
Hold on. Is that Kelly?
What the fuck? They killed me.
Oh, is that why they asked me to say a few words?
Kelly will always be Kelly. Laughs.
Why'd I put my laugh in there? I mean, I did laugh, but that's because you do be you. Dude. Shit. Maybe it's a good time to get up off the grid. Because I do have some other identities I've been meaning to try out. What's the first one?
French.
Okay.
But now we understand the drama, the weirdness behind her name tag, and this is going to set up, I think, some pretty big shit for Kelly this season.
What do you think's
I
gonna
think we're
set
gonna
up?
see it all begin here. I mean, we'll get to that at the end of the episode, but I think Kelly is gonna see some major shifts this season, just based off of this already. But
I'm with you.
I love that when they're walking across this courtyard, Issa's doing that fake hey, and I was like, wow, that's almost as good as Fran. And she was like, oh, hey, girl.
Mine sounds a
You
little more
know?
honest, you know?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's almost as good as Fran.
Almost good.
Fran sounds like she really does know your name and she's just choosing to call you, love bug or something instead. So,
Drag me.
but while Issa steps away to have this conversation, Molly takes the time to ask Kelly about how long it took for her relationship with Tiffany to feel right. Remember a couple seasons ago when they had their falling out,
That's
and
right.
Kelly keeps it really real with her. Girl, like it was fake back before it was back, and
A lot of
I had
laughing
to- you've heard
bad
Tiffany.
jokes
Yeah.
and
yeah, you've heard Tiffany try to nail a punchline, and it doesn't really, it don't be curling all the way over for her. So
Yeah, and I love this part. The fact that Molly was asking her for help showed a lot of growth. you know, that she normally Molly kind of internalizes everything or projects, and we saw a lot of that, which is where, you know, Dr. Rhonda kicks in.
Yeah.
But clearly she's noticing her patterns, trying to do something about it. And I think it was cool to see her actually reach out to someone in the friend group like, yo, things are jacked up and I need to figure out how to fix this.
Molly is not usually the let me ask for help type. So good to see her letting her guard down a little bit, being vulnerable. And Kelly is like, listen, you can't force it. Just remain aware of what Issa needs in the moment, what makes her hair grow for whatever reason. You know, does she still got her big toes? It's still Kelly.
Talking about, because I
some
ain't never
very
seen
good
them.
advice. And I ain't never looked. Okay, well.
With Kelly,
wonderful.
You gotta find the gems through the jokes, but she be spitting.
Yeah.
Okay.
She do. That is that. You know, you might have to peel away a little bit, but it's in there. It's some good ass advice in the middle of all them words. So, Derek, Tiffany, and Issa are finishing their conversation with Derek's ex, BB, and Tiffany did not even wait for this girl to be out of earshot before she was like, "Yeah, that hoe was so fucking thirsty, whispering mystical lyrics in my man's ear back in the day."
Relatable content.
No, you would. You would. But when Issa's like, she is thirsty, you know, whoever she is, Tiffany tries a joke and was like, yeah, like a shriveled up prune. And this one I was just
this
like,
where Kelly
oh,
jumped
no.
in like, ha ha ha. She looked at Molly like, see, bitch, I'm laughing at all the whack shit. You gotta do it.
Allegedly, Tiffany never had nothing to worry about because Derek carved their names in a tree after they first date or some shit. Sounds fake,
Sounds
but
very
you know.
mean.
We'll see if you can find it, nigga. That's what I would have said, but you know, not married. Anyway, the gang is headed to a mixer. As soon as we heard Too Short, I said, yay, ghetto shit.
We back.
Yes, and our flautist is back. And at that same time, Kelly spots their old friend Cheyenne, who was, you know, too crazy for Tiffany back in the day.
Tiffany's gangster because she was like, okay, y'all have fun saying hi because I'm not.
No, I never liked her. But the rest of them hoes had a rap group with Cheyenne called Trap Habit, even though none of these niggas have ever even smelled the trap before. I loved when Tiffany asked, didn't y'all fall out with her? And Molly and Issa were looking like
they couldn't remember.
we are also trying to repair a falling out right now, so it's a little awkward. And Molly's like, oh well, if we did, it was probably over something stupid. And then they share these glances like kind of like me and you and the way we fell out over something stupid. But no, she dropped out so she could go on tour with Sierra. A great reason to drop out of college, if you ask me. And yeah, Tiffany's gonna go find some AKAs while the rest of them catch up and do their fucking ghetto shit. First of all, these leg extensions, I wasn't ready for that. Also, the songs they made up back when they were children, trapping niggas is a habit.
And the little dance sliding in front of each other.
Yes. Tell his mama she can have it. Drop that baby out. Drop that baby out.
Hey. And Cheyenne looked good. That's all I kept thinking. It's like she's a legit dancer.
Cheyenne do look good.
That body.
I would not be surprised. She looked amazing. She just wrapped a Sweetie video. And she also has a handwritten name tag. So Kelly is like, oh, bitch, you did too? But no, Cheyenne just not paying for no reunion.
She's like, no, I'm just here doing hood rat things.
Right.
And yelling in their face.
Ain't shit
you
changed.
Got it.
Yes.
That's exactly where I was going with it.
Yes. Cheyenne said, y'all need to understand that I am still the same ghetto bitch you knew back in the day. And now we mixing, okay? The party is in full swing. Molly and Derek are talking to their old friends, Amari and Winston, about Omega Party smelling like booty hole, which is true.
This part,
and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Derek is like, Amari's divorced. Okay, bye. And then he and Winston just leave.
That was so not smooth. I was like, bro, really? That was the setup?
I hate men.
Golly.
Men are so awful at this. So yes, we learned that Omari and Molly were friends with benefits back in the day, although this nigga didn't have no benefits outside of his meal points. and his little plastic mattress. I'm just saying. But when he was like, oh, I just think, they probably don't want you to let me get away again. She was looking like, I don't remember thinking that this was a prize necessarily.
Yeah,
but,
and for
okay.
Molly to make that face said a lot because we've been through it with the men in her life.
But I will say, Omari definitely seems to be like Molly's type.
The kind of like
especially
high society status, executive.
Right.
I can see it.
Similar degrees, probably working a very professional career now. And he got a king size mattress. Notice he said mattress, not bed. But he said it's whatever it is, it's a king size now. So he done came on up. And even though I think she should take this time and chill, it kind of seems like Molly is, I wouldn't be shocked. I'll just say this. If they get back to LA and she and this nigga are going on dates and shit like that, would not be surprised.
I mean, it just was like, there's no break for this chick.
Yeah.
And she literally said Dr. Rhonda told her to stay present. And here she go with another immediate distraction.
Flirting is fun. And if you just got your heart broken, then it can feel really good.
Molly don't know how to flirt, Crystal.
Okay, no, she don't.
You gotta remember who you talking about. She gonna be thinking about babies tomorrow morning.
She gonna fall in love, right?
She ain't the one for these games.
We're gonna keep our fingers crossed for the girl. Meanwhile, Kelly is watching the In Memoriam slideshow when her own damn face pops up, and at this point, she doesn't seem so entertained by the mistake anymore.
Right, it's actually affecting her this time.
Face is like, yeah. Looking kind of woebegone and a little bit upset about it. And even Tiffany pointing out that she had the best stanky leg and always carried a purse is not really lifting her spirits. The DJ dropped stanky leg in her honor. And it's very wild to me that nobody in this room can see that she is clearly alive. Like, it's very much the girl in the picture and she's standing right in front of you.
Stanky leg.
Right. And Cheyenne's old raggedy ass. Look, she's not raggedy yet, but she ran up to do the stanky leg with him. Sorry, I've been mad at her. I've been mad at her since I saw this episode, but we'll get there.
But even outside of reading the room that she's alive, also reading the room that she's clearly not feeling good about this shit. Because at first they were cracking jokes, when they were walking through the hallway reading it. But you can tell she's affected and everyone's just dancing around her, literally and figuratively.
And she kind of joins in with the stanky leg, but her heart is not in it.
I mean, you saw that sad little
she
stanky
even said,
leg. She said,
I'm so much more than this.
Oh, Kelly.
And it was a sad stanky leg, but it wasn't as sad as Tiffany's, child. Tiffany just barely extended that leg. It's like, yes, you better give it to us like you got a white mama. But anyway, I don't know that character's life. Issa walks into the bathroom and guess who's in the mirror?
Mirror bitch. Yay.
Kind of. It's throwback Issa with the braces and the twists. And this is actually just really the most adorable scene. Even though I know this is present day grown ass Issa interacting with herself, I don't care.
She did good though, because she legit
freshman babiness. She
the
did.
Twists, the braces, the cute little printed graphic tee. So cute.
Right. And at first it's going well. Baby Issa is like, okay, I like the new style. The braces is off. Please show off them teeth. Amazing. But the moments where they stop and they say the same thing at the same time are the best to me. Like when they doing all this back and forth about the teeth and then they like, we stupid. I love this fucking show.
It's cute.
So yeah, young Issa is hyped to hear about Big Issa being on the panel, and she wants to know more. Girl, have we met T-Pain yet?
No.
Do we have any kind of boyfriend at all? Are you a lawyer?
Hell no.
You started that firm with Molly?
Never. We barely talking, girl.
And I didn't never want to be a lawyer, but as long as Issa and Molly are still gully for shizzle, which God damn took me back.
We old as hell.
Yeah, they maybe are not fully gully right now, but they go. They working towards it. It's not shot to hell like it used to be. But Issa's telling Throwback about the company she started. And once again, this bitch cannot remember what it stood for.
And you saw Throwback, Issa was
Fran.
like, oh, girl. Oh, girl.
She was like, maybe I should write it on my hand. Oh, I'll get it.
Maybe.
But like...
Then she asked her to see her abs.
You don't remember the name?
She asked her to see her abs, which took me down because her abs look good, but Throwback didn't seem impressed.
I mean, I don't know if it was the abs or the fact that like Issa almost fell just trying to do the pose, or maybe she didn't like the outfit. I don't know. But the baby version of herself was like, damn, bitch.
How did we get here?
What happened? Right. And before real Issa leaves the bathroom, she tells her child self to start an app with pictures on it and like...
Not Issa Graham, though. Genius.
I mean, no. Not the best name, but the fact that the little version of her was like, what's an app?
Child.
Oh, yeah, we did used to just have cell phones.
Right? Where
they weren't all
called
smartphones.
People
yeah.
and text. That's it. Remember that?
And it took forever to send a text, and you played Snake, and that was it. It wasn't ain't no extras. Like, you're not getting on the internet on this thing.
Wow.
A lot has
memories.
changed. Even just in the past decade.
100 apps on our phone that we can't live without.
Girl, constantly plugged in, email and anyway. This is not the time for that.
PTS.
Speaking of T-Pain, we can hear him playing as we head to Issa's panel. And this is very classic awkward Black girl because all the other panelists are getting great reception from the crowd. And then Issa talks.
But you know what? I have to say is, we've been on many a panel and they always expect you to have the like fluffy words, the Instagram caption, tweetable words that people are just like, yes, that was so good. And I actually have found myself being in Issa's position where it's like, I don't want to say any of this shit. I want to tell y'all the real of the fact that we are struggling creatives. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. And at first she was definitely stumbling, being typical Issa. But I like the fact that in the second half of it, she was just like, I don't know what I want to do, where I'm going to be in 5 years. I don't have no pretty packaged answers for you.
The right path. I don't know that I'm on the right path. To be honest, there's no way to be sure you've made the right choice. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and realize that I've wasted all my time. And that's time I can't really get back.
While everyone else was hitting you with the, guru quotables or Biggie lines, random Biggie lines. I loved it. I personally loved
real.
It. It was real to me.
I mean, maybe because I'm always the one telling people about the bad side to a situation, but I didn't feel like, I honestly felt like this scene was really used, like it was more comedic because Issa's answers, I felt, were pretty much on par with everybody else's. It's just that the crowd was giving her nothing.
Nothing at all.
And then they were absolutely eating up the basic shit that these other people said. So it was more like,
she hit him with
so
the
y'all
Tupac.
just gonna do me like this?
They didn't want it.
Right. Right. And we're being confronted with the awkwardness of her terrible logo design because the moderator called it the blue CC or the blow CC. Like, oh no.
She was
this
like,
ain't
well,
it
I gotta
at all.
rework this shit.
Right. Them niggas didn't even have love for Pac, and it was just...
It didn't land.
Issa looks so dejected, right, because the next girl, Nadia's talking and even complimented her singing voice, but whatever Nadia says is something that is not like shifting the world, and yet everybody is eating it up. Yes. And I feel like Issa is this is more about her insecurities, about am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing?
Fair. True.
Yes. And that comes on full display during the final question of the panel, because if you're asking me about when I felt stable and knew I was on the right path, and meanwhile, I'm still driving for Lyft and managing apartments and What you mean? When did I feel stable? Is that supposed to be happening? When am I scheduled for stability at some point? Because I'm not there yet. And so she cannot relate to getting funding or having niggas slide in your DMs. Like, none of that. She is brutally honest here and says that maybe tomorrow she'll wake up and realize she wasted all her time and can't get it back.
My God. Which was an honest ass answer, and I loved it.
I mean,
I thought it was honest.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it was honest, and also it wasn't the question for her, because when did you feel stable assumes that I have stability.
Right. She's like, I'll circle back next year for the 11th reunion and let you know if I have an answer then, child.
I love Fran. You can tell Fran does not go to reunions because nobody has an 11-year reunion.
Oh, that's
She's
right.
The cutest.
Oh, it's like 10, 20, true. I ignore those emails.
Girl, I've never been to any of mine either.
They'd be like,
not one
we'd
time.
love to have you. I'd be like, what school is this?
Them niggas done had like 3-4 reunions, and I'm like, oh, girl, I'll see y'all on Instagram. But I felt for her because this is such an awkward moment to have in front of a crowd where you're like, damn, maybe this is not it. Maybe this is not really my passion, and I feel inadequate.
She's having like an existential crisis on stage in the middle of a panel where she's supposed to be like revered as like, fancy alumni that's made it and successful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
This moment is also the first time we hear somebody talk about how crazy everything is in the world right now. And of course I immediately thought COVID.
Right.
Because PTSD, COVID is beating my ass, psychologically. And so at first I thought, does this mean we're going to get like a specific mention of a societal ill? Are they going to deliberately leave it vague? Because to be honest, everything is terrible on Earth all the time.
Right, which one? What thing are they referring to with the way shit is now?
Right. But the moderator dropping that had me like, oh, okay, so we are going to talk about, I don't think this will be a COVID season at all, but we are going to talk about things being weird and fucked up and people not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. So this panel thankfully ends and her friends are hyping her up, and Issa is technically, using positive words, but she is clearly a little bit down about how this went.
Yeah.
Just, really made her feel a little bit more insecure and aware of what she doesn't have as opposed to all the things that she has accomplished.
But the friends are so sweet
Kelly,
because they're like trying to boost
are.
her. Like, girl, it don't matter. You're amazing regardless. Especially Molly. You could see Molly in that moment started kind of.
And she need to, and she should.
Right. Remember Kelly's advice.
And
slide in there, girls. Your opportunity.
Yes, but also, like I said last season, Molly was more in the wrong than Issa was, and you can tell now because Molly is the one trying to get Issa back.
Yes, she is.
And Issa's the one over there in her Kerry Washington outfit talking about earn me. So
no, you didn't.
So while Kelly is going to the band reunion and Derek and Tiffany are headed to an AKA function, Molly is going to take Kelly's advice from earlier and go with what Issa needs in the moment, which is a fucking drink.
Love it. Said, let's just lay back and chill. And it was dope that Issa seemed actually open to it. It was like, let's do it.
I mean, because she really, she needed to talk about it, and she and Molly are in a good enough place to where, she could kind of let this out. And we're going to see that unfold in this next scene after they steal the beers from the 40th reunion. Raggedy. But as they walk, Molly gets a text from Omari, and she immediately begins to overthink the situation. Like, as soon as she opened the fucking text.
But not only that, was it just me, but did you kind of see Issa's face? Because, like, they're walking, it's just the two of them, and it's just that same old shit again about Molly just not being present and wanting to talk about the man that she's dating or whoever's in her life. It's just like the same shit. She kind of looked like, oh, here we go, girl. Okay.
See, I interpreted that face more as like, I see what you're doing here, but we not really cool like that, and I'm not gonna volunteer no advice for you
on some friend shit, right?
Right, like, and because we have argued about this before, unsolicited words coming from one to the other. So Issa's very much like, oh yeah, girl, staying in the present. The present is the the gift.
Not the present is the gift.
Right. Molly tries again, to her credit. She brings up Andrew this time, and Issa's like, oh, I'm definitely not speaking on Andrew, girl.
It just felt so tired.
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened to us getting drinks because Issa was having a bad moment? Like, ugh, Molly, read the room.
Towards the end of that conversation, she does say that she thinks that she should be more like Issa was on the panel. And of course, Issa's like, oh, no, girl, not that train wreck. But Molly called Issa inspiring. And it seemed like Issa's countenance kind of softened a little.
Yes.
Like she was like, okay, like, thank you for that, because she needed a boost in that moment.
Yeah, it was affirming, which was a very friendly thing to do. So I can see that's what she needed.
And I see how this ended better than it would have previously, because old Molly would have fixated on whatever she was going through, sat there and overthought it to the point and pressing Issa for her opinion on everything and trying to hash it out. And then she had her moment, realized where she was fucking up, and made it about Issa.
Reeled it in
a way.
Yep. She came back
Reeled
in her
in.
body and was present again, just like Dr. Rhonda told her. So you see, it's like she's catching the patterns in real time and then changing the pathway. So like we keep saying, some growth with Molly.
Which is really beautiful. And I'm so happy to see this, because honestly, I did not think I could hate Molly anymore than I did at the end of last season.
You really did. You were fighting on Twitter with the hashtag.
I was. And I was arguing with you niggas, and I will do it again, because she was trying it. But I am so glad to see this. And I love that we're getting more into their history when they first met on campus.
Right.
Bonded because racist white people assumed they were athletes. Issa knowing that they were going to be friends because Molly cussed them out so eloquently. And it was just nice to see them reminiscing about the confidence they had when they were younger and how they really thought they had everything figured out, and just how very fucking wrong they were.
Right, child.
It happens to the best of us.
And the bare bones, in a way, of their friendship, like before all the bullshit, when it was just them connecting off of being each other, with each other and being who they are. It was cute to see that, because we only know them as adults with the shit that's happened, the past couple seasons. So like you said, it was nice to kind of go back and see, because I guess like I said, I didn't know they met in college. I've missed that memo. So I'm like, they go far, they go way farther back than I even realized. So that was cool.
And Issa, I think the combination of Molly calling her inspiring, and then them having this moment where they're going back over their old memories together, she kind of lets down her guard a little with
so sweet
Molly, and starts talking about how she thought the panel was gonna make her feel special, but she over here with the Michelle of water and shit, and how she's 30 and still an apartment manager and feeling out of control, because even if niggas want to go to Palm Springs on a Tuesday, she got to take them because she to live. Really,
she's like, I can't even control where my day goes.
Child. Molly was like, let's find some carbohydrates for you, because you're not feeling well. Let's get you something to eat. So.
That was so mean. That's something you would say to me.
I wasn't gonna say it, Taurus, but
let's ground you.
I was gonna say, somebody, who has some soup?
And a blanket like I'm wearing right now.
Let's get a nice minestrone for Fran. But so the girls are getting food, and a student drops off a flyer on their table saying "Stand up and be heard." And when I had to pause it to read that flyer, because I was like, no, I need to know what this says, because Issa reads it and then she's like, damn, the world is so fucked up right now. And so then I'm like, okay, so the fucked up thing we're referring to here is almost certainly to do with police brutality, niggas being unfairly targeted, racism in America. Hate to say same old shit. I was
literally gonna be like, the usual. Unfortunately.
But we do remember the George Floyd case of 2020 and how that seemed to really shift some things for a lot of people. So maybe that's a reference that we'll be getting throughout this season, this theme of something needs to really change.
Right.
We'll see. Don't know quite just yet. But when Molly asks if they're going to be okay, Issa's like, girl, you mean the world or us? Because the world, probably not.
And us, probably not either.
But Molly says, I just want us to be good again. And Issa nods. And I feel that because you get tired of not having your best friend.
Aww. Right.
You do. You get tired of fighting, especially if the person like genuinely apologized and y'all are trying to get back on a good place. Like at a certain point, you just don't want to hold on to that no more. And it feels like Issa is like really ready to invest emotionally, be vulnerable again with Molly. That's what I got from
I could see that.
It definitely felt like that to me. Like, girl, are we gonna be okay? Because if we are, then I can chill.
Yeah, and the symbolism, like I was saying, of them starting from square one, low key. You know, back in college where we met, and let's just like take it from there, new canvas.
Exactly. Beautiful. Kelly hits the group chat because Cheyenne wants to go to a club called Reggae Gold in Oakland that night.
Which sounds kind of lit.
First of all, it absolutely does. And then Issa called it dumb, dingy, and dusty. So now we all want to go, including
What time
me.
we there?
What time we...
Not me Googling.
What time we getting in the car?
Not me Googling to see if this is a place.
Of course, Tiffany is driving. I just feel like Tiffany will be the designated for the rest of their lives.
Probably should be.
I just don't see Simone's mama being drunk and out without her husband no more. But everybody is turning up to T-Pain except Kelly. This shit is really bothering her.
Understandable. They done killed you off and put you in the alumni book in memoriam. Like, come on.
I guess it is so impactful.
Imagine that.
I mean, I am, and I'm finding it difficult to take seriously because
Kelly.
I mean, no, not actually not because of her, because of me. Because like, if you tell me that I'm dead, I'm just going to laugh. I'm clearly not. So you niggas doing an in memoriam for me and having this dumbass yearbook page set up, and my friend and gave a stupid ass quote. I guess I could see Jade being Issa in that moment.
You know,
And
Jade
so
would have given the damn quote. And not told you. They ain't not told you. You could be surprised when you pull up.
So exactly. So I just feel like I would probably not have taken it this way, but for Kelly, I think it's more of a wake up call. Like, yo, y'all really think I'm a fucking clown?
Yeah, I totally align with what you were saying. That this is it's almost like the clown is getting tired of being the joke.
Yeah,
just getting old.
Right.
Yeah, definitely see that happening.
Because like your fun friend, the funny friend, the lighthearted one, the one who can always make everybody feel better. Like that's still a real person who goes through real shit too. And Kelly's having her I'm a real bitch and I'm really going through it right now moment.
Which is probably, like you said, there's more to that whole joke about she has different identities to try on. It's like, I'm actually want to get rid of this one right now because there's more range.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
I see it.
Yes, astrologer friend.
No, you didn't.
You right though.
I see it.
Yes.
I see what you're saying about this being a shift for her, and I feel like that was a little window into that.
So, the topic of her kale allergy comes up, and Cheyenne starts singing the damn song that they wrote about the allergy. And Kelly, I've never seen Kelly snap in like a legitimately pissed way like this before.
Must be nice. The band didn't do shit for me. And then the trombonist had the nerve to say the only thing she remembered about me was I was allergic to kale. Bitch, I took every Mandarin test for you for a year. Remember that?
But Kelly, you are allergic to kale. We wrote a whole song about this. Hey, Kelly. Don't eat kale.
Nah.
Hey, Kelly.
Come
not
on.
to swell.
I'm missing the point, as always.
Every time I do a joke to y'all. Ain't shit changed, bitch.
Cheyenne.
Okay. Oh, man. Oh, y'all know Reggae Go be putting water in their liquor.
I see why Tiffany didn't like her. And now look, you got me on Tiffany's side, girl. But I see it. I really do see it. It felt like such a dickhead move. And in hindsight, it was definitely some foreshadowing. But
oh, God. God.
Kelly picked up her phone, and I really want to know what she was about to do on that phone. And I noticed that Tiffany is the only one who didn't laugh. Like Issa and Molly laughed after Cheyenne's little dumb childish outburst, but Tiffany was just kind of looking like, "Oh, friend,"
right?
Didn't say nothing.
And Tiffany
but,
don't fuck with her, so I don't think she would have laughed even if it was funny.
But I think Kelly picked up her phone out of frustration and would have really appreciated Tiffany piping up and being like, "Bitch, my friend said it's not funny."
Right.
So
felt,
like, you don't want to have to stand up for yourself alone all the time either.
Yeah.
So Cheyenne suggests that they stop at a liquor store so they can smuggle bottles into the club, which literally I am the perfect friend for this. I can put 1.5 bottles under my titties.
The fact
and
you
we
have
are
it
in.
measured out.
The way I've done this countless,
I remember.
countless times, me taking Nuvo and putting it up under my titties so that me and my friends can drink that perfume in the club.
Jesus.
I have done it. Kelly and Tiffany stay behind in the car while Molly, Issa, and Cheyenne make the run inside the liquor store. And when they come out, a nigga in a hoodie walks up to them and asks them what's in the bags.
Jesus Christ.
What do you think it is, nigga? It's obviously liquor, but also obviously these niggas are getting robbed.
Oh my God. And it's at gunpoint. Molly froze. She didn't even know how to think, what to say.
Yeah, it's not an implied gun. The gun is right there.
Okay.
And I did notice, as soon as he pulled the gun out, Molly immediately kind of pushed Issa back.
Like protected
moved her,
Mama
like,
Bear. I
Yes.
didn't catch that.
Yes, which I noticed. I said, okay, you're trying because you need to be.
That's a lot of trying because, I mean, I can try to restore the friendship, but I don't know about getting a bullet for you.
I don't know about and listen, it wasn't like, get behind me. It was just like a little, like you do with a baby when you got to slam on the brakes.
I was just whisper in your ear like, we should probably run.
And so, all three girls start to panic, understandably. This nigga wants the watches, the purses, the liquor. Did y'all get some Doritos in there too? I would like that as well. He's getting all that shit.
Cheyenne is losing her shit, making it worse.
Growing more hysterical by the second.
Oh my God, a gun. He has a gun. He said he has a gun.
Oh my God, no. No. Please, no.
Shut up. Look, I'll take those bags. And give me that watch.
Okay, you can have whatever you want.
No, not the watch. That's Cartier.
TikTok, bitch, let's go. Okay. And give me your purse, too.
Yeah. What do you want to take from me? You can just take it.
I don't need nothing from you. I need you to stop being so fucking loud.
Oh my God.
Shut the fuck up, shy shit.
Shy?
Please tell me what you were thinking of this scene, Crissle.
I said, no, I literally made Issa and Molly face. I literally was like, this bitch. I was exactly like Marion Barry. I said, this.
But you know what's so crazy? On everything, I sensed that this was a setup. I really did, just because she has been such the hood rat friend. Something about it felt off, and I don't know what it was. And when he said her name, I was like, you do the old lady clap.
Soon as he said it.
I knew it.
I did not see that coming, but I definitely was Marion Barry with this bitch set me up. I absolutely said it. That's right, hoes. It's a fucking setup.
What a scam.
And, Cheyenne apologizes, but she also tells Molly to come up out them damn shoes.
Which cracked me
sorry,
up.
girl.
She doubled down on the robbery and was like, ain't shit changed.
I'm actually not done. Yeah. And Issa, you can go ahead and keep yours on.
No, but I cried at that part. Issa was like, what about my shoes? It's like, bitch, don't nobody want them.
I mean, you can keep those cherry
Nobody
shoes.
asked. It's okay.
Sweetie, no. Do you see Molly's shoes? Okay, and then do you see...
And her Cartier watch?
I mean, they're fine. Good for you, but all right. Sorry, girls, but everybody can get it, and ain't shit changed. And now you remember why you hated that bitch. Now you remember why you ain't talked to her over the last 10 years. Whether she dropped out to go tour with Sierra or whatever, you didn't keep in touch for a reason.
What on earth? What a scene. Talk about not seeing that coming.
Right? So stressful.
Oh, Cheyenne.
Back in the car, Kelly is talking about how she gonna haunt everybody after she dies and tells Tiffany, like, you did not do enough. And Tiffany's like, what I do, bitch? You're sitting there while somebody is being disrespectful to me. Like,
right.
I would expect the people who knew me best, especially like my best friend, to be like, because Kelly don't snap off like that. Kelly do not be checking niggas like that. So she must have really been
affected,
feeling a way about it. Right. Issa and Molly return then, and when they ask them about the liquor and the shoes, these bitches fall out laughing, trying to tell the story. And that's when I was like, oh, they back. Because they are sitting here crying, laughing, trying to talk over each other, and both of them being scared shitless. And Molly, what Issa said, your old horny, lonely ass. Telling the government, oh, you can have whatever you want.
Not this robbery being like a jumper cable for their friendship, a whole reset.
And Molly being like, yeah, that nigga was fine though. And yes, exactly. It felt like these two were really back now, you know, going through something that was that scary and then turned that fucking stupid.
Right, it almost makes you realize, like, we've been worrying about the dumbest shit, fighting over what? Like, let's just let the shit go and start from scratch. Which I get it. It happens.
But the best part of this scene, and honestly might be the best part of this episode, is when Issa's like, how come she didn't want my shoes? And Tiffany said, oh, you know why.
Of all,
because it was like she was mostly gonna stay out of it, but she was like, now girl. So now, of course, everybody's laughing, and I just love these four together. Like, I know, I was like, oh, I love these friends. They
needed this robbery.
Oh God. Yes, us getting set up by a girl we used to know really brought us closer together. We hear Molly saying these beautiful words about friendship as we move into the next scene where these niggas are at a diner having a memorial for Kelly, who, as we know, fake died.
What on earth?
Now, did I agree with Derek that this is extra and it's doing a lot? Yes, I did. However, it was also really sweet, and it's what Kelly needed.
Right.
She needed to hear these beautiful words, you know? She needed to hear about how she was always there for her friends. She helped Issa financially by cutting out coupons for 6 months. And Issa really looked like genuinely touched when she recalled that memory. Like, because who would do that for you? She's Tiffany's actual soulmate. Sorry to my husband, but she's my actual ride or die. And Kelly is getting so emotional. And I'm like, okay, so, you know, it is a lot, Derek. Yes, it is. However, she was really in her feelings about that in memoriam shit. And this is making her feel seen and appreciated, loved and valued. And what else are friends for?
That's all she needed. Yeah. She needed to not be the laughing stock for a moment.
Right. Exactly.
And they actually saw her, which was really nice. Even though this is really weird. Right. But I'll give it to her. I was sitting there like, what are we doing?
Blow out the candle on her pancake cake.
I was like, what is happening?
We're staying in, you know what? We're staying in the moment and we're paying attention to what our friends need. That's what we're doing.
Thanks for reeling me back in.
That's what we are doing.
Because of what?
Plus, Derek know good and damn well he didn't find that tree with the engraved names and all that bullshit.
He just did it on another one.
But Tiffany gonna let it slide because he been going through a lot. And everybody agrees, which makes me think that this is about Tiffany's postpartum and how, you know, it's been a struggle to both adjust to parenthood himself and to have to support your wife while she's going through something so difficult. Right. So, you know, we're going to let Derek have that little lie.
True.
Even though, you know.
Tiffany's letting him have it too, apparently.
So Winston walks up and says that he missed them at the party last night. And of course, we're not even getting into the story of why they didn't make it to the fucking party. But he passes along the message that Omari was looking for Molly. Okay. So Issa and Molly share a look, which again, another sign that these two are back.
Aww.
Because Issa probably would have just stayed stone-faced before and minded her business. But yeah, I was like, okay, so now maybe we can actually get into the Omari thing and Issa will be willing to give her opinion on the situation. Because before she was kind of like closed off and, you know, I don't know about all that.
Now that she almost died, she's like, okay, let's talk about your crush.
Right.
Cool.
But once they're outside and saying their goodbyes and almost... You know, or not even almost, I'm sorry. They did get called ma'am by the young students who had their protest signs. Again, another
sign of the times.
Sign of what's going on in the world. Right. But yeah, Molly brings up the Omari situation. And Issa confirms that this bitch is
Omari.
really asking for her opinion.
Oh, you want my opinion?
Yeah.
To be honest, you were never tripping about Omari then. You should have known. He was on you, and you just went with the flow, because that's how you were about everything. That's what I loved about you. You know, you just knew you were going to be great, and you weren't pressed.
Yeah, but that's when I thought I had all the time in the world.
Well, what if we still do? Because for me, I don't want to get stuck worrying about what I'm not or where I'm not. I just want to move forward.
I want to move forward too.
Honestly, I see why Issa's like, you know, that's what I loved about you. And Molly lights up. Oh, God, you love me again.
Aww.
But I see why Issa's like, you know, I love that about you, that you go with the flow. And I think that is great for friendships. But in romantic relationships, I think it's very important for y'all to have a mutual pressedness about each other. Like him being so into you and you being like, oh, okay, well, I can't really think of anything wrong with him, so I'll just go with the flow. Like, that's a good way to end up with two people having a broken heart when you could have just stayed away from somebody you didn't feel passionately about in the first place.
Come
But
on. Crystal's
I could
couch.
be reading entirely into...
No, I'm with you on that.
See, now it's my turn to bring it back in because I feel like, you know, maybe I read entirely too much into that statement, but...
No, I think that's exactly what it is. And Molly's trying to break these patterns, trying to stay present. And she's also having to realize that she attaches herself to situations just to do it a lot of times.
Yeah. Or because, like, with Omari, it would be like, well, there's nothing wrong with him. Okay, but do you like him?
Right.
Do you want to be with him?
But do you feel
or is
anything?
this just...
It's just something
Right.
to do.
Is it...
Yeah.
Yes.
No, girl.
Right. Or is this like... I feel like I have to get married because my mama wants me to, or
Right.
I'm incomplete without a husband. Like, what's really going on here?
Right.
So maybe being a little bit more intentional in your relationships would be a good thing. But Molly says, look, that was a decade ago. I thought I had all the time in the world. Shit is looking very different now in my early 30s. But Issa points out that they do still have time. Y'all are 30, not 90. And as long as you're still breathing.
And hey, there be people that are 90 that's still out here kicking it, getting
That's
married.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like, who in us needs this?
As long as you are breathing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love, you know what? As someone who is entering their 40s soon, I actually really loved this part of the conversation where Issa was like, what exactly are we rushing into? Why do we need, you know, the like where we're at, who we are, that whole pressure. I loved it because you start, a lot of people will really project that on you. And you're just like, I actually don't feel like I'm in a rush. I'm my own pace, my own clock.
Right.
And that's fine with me. And I love Issa giving her that advice because it's hard to remember that sometimes.
It definitely is. And as far as like biology is concerned, I can see an issue with like, oh, if I want to have a baby, then I really only have like another 10 years before I'm probably going to have to pay a lot more to make it happen. But she's not even talking about kids, really. She's talking about getting married. And it's just, it's not something you can force. Like, I don't believe I'm in control of whether a decent nigga happens to show up on any given day. Like, you can take all the advice and do all the things everybody says to do, but you just may not come across a nigga who is worth your time.
Right. It's
in that day, week, month, who knows? I don't know.
And there comes a time where you have to accept that, you know, that may not be in your cards, and there's actually nothing wrong with that. There are a lot. What did you see those articles that come out all the time of women who were happy in their old age because they weren't married or didn't have kids, and it's like it's a configuration.
Husband finally died.
Right? It's a configuration that works too. It's okay. We shouldn't be scared.
And it's okay to desire partnership
Absolutely.
as well. That's human.
It's loving and sweet.
But yes, but you have to feel like you are a complete person without it. You don't. It can't be this person is fulfilling something that makes you a complete human being.
Agreed.
You are that on your own, but you have to know and feel that for yourself.
Yeah.
And Molly's working on it, but she's not quite there yet. So However, very obvious that the therapy is kicking in.
Come
Shout out to Dr. Rhonda and that copay.
Not that copay.
It's kicking in. Shout out to that copay. Oh, man. So Kelly's at home and recording her podcast from bed. And first of all, bitch, why have I never thought of this?
Okay, the fact we have the same feeling. I was like, dude, I looked over at my bed like, wait.
I was like, I could have been.
She just opened up a whole universe to me. What?
Fran, I hate us for real because I was like, wait a minute.
Don't show 2 earth signs that we can record from the bed.
I was like, hold on, because I've been over here with a little setup in my fucking office.
Back hurting.
Bitch, I could be laying down with one eye closed talking about, yeah, girl. And so then, but you know, she's processing her weekend and we can hear her words as a voiceover as we see the friends getting back to their lives. Issa's at LAX getting picked up by Lauren.
Yeah, boy.
Oh boy.
I've been waiting for that
Tiffany
face.
Yes, Tiffany and Derek putting the baby to bed in her Stanford onesie, and Simone is so cute. I know that's not the same baby because obviously that baby is like 3 now, but so cute.
Adorable.
Yeah, Molly inspecting herself in the mirror where that dog is looking like, girl, you look the same as you did yesterday. Please don't get in the bed.
Cute.
Yes, but if you knew the end was coming, how would you make the most of your time left?
Look at them
an excellent
inspiring
question.
her podcast episode.
Yes. Like, first of all, we all know this is the last season of Insecure. The end is coming.
Aww.
How are y'all going to make the most of this last season of Insecure? Are you going to ask them to make the episodes an hour long? Because they're not going to do that. Are you going to...
That was good.
Are you going to argue about Condola and disrespect her? I hope
I'm kidding.
Because the jokes be funny. But, you know, Kelly will be tackling these questions on this episode of Prenny's Preguntas.
Prenny's Preguntas. I was so dead at her. Why is that the name of her show, girl?
Of course it is. But Issa and Lawrence are in the car making small talk about the fucking moon.
Dry.
How that bitch looks close or whatever.
Hell, you can tell she is checked out. She was checked out at this point.
This was awkward. And I felt like throughout the car ride, we could all see where this was going. And yep.
He was trying.
They pull up to Issa's building and Lawrence is like, shall we? And she's like, I shall. And you shan't. She's had some time to think about it. And I'm assuming she is just not ready to be a stepmother. And I guess he's not going to take my very good advice about just not being a daddy because... He says that he understands. Of course he does. How could he not?
Right. What can he say?
Yeah.
And it seems like this near-death experience was like really shifting some shit.
Stop calling it that.
She was like, you know what? I don't want to be nobody's goddamn stepmother. Where's Lawrence? We're breaking up.
Yeah. Which is, you know, I can see it coming. Of course, I'm joking when I say that Lawrence should just pretend this baby doesn't exist. He has no choice but to understand.
Exactly.
It is a situation where nobody is in the wrong, and yet we are just going to have our hearts broken, which is the worst kind of breakup.
Because you have no anger to fuel you. It's just what it is, and you have to sit with it and move on. And he saw it. You could almost see that he saw it coming. Because you kind of saw that face where he was just like, shit, I didn't want to hear this. I was hoping I never had to hear this. But here we are.
And honestly, if the shoe was on the other foot, I really doubt that he would stay with her if she was pregnant by somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
same. I mean, you saw he was reacting to her just even having other interests when they weren't dating. So imagine her getting pregnant. Yeah, definitely would have not been the same.
I'm just glad my girl got one last free ride from the airport because it's over.
No, you didn't.
It's over and done. And Jasmine Sullivan's Lost Ones is playing as we wrap.
What an
outro.
What an outro.
The most perfect song.
Just
once again with the music on this fucking show.
Jab it in. Just jab it in.
All right, Fran. Predictions for the season, for next episode. What do you think so far?
I don't know if it's just me being me.
Go on and say it.
But I don't think this is the end of Lawrence. I don't.
Thank you. I don't either.
either.
It's just
I do not care.
Nope.
Issa and Lawrence are still not done.
It is going to wrap around somehow. I don't know how, because these are very short episodes, but it is going to come back around. I'm hoping that Issa and Molly really, really do reconnect again, because it was in these small scenes towards the end, it was like nice to see them just be good again. You know, like it felt good. It was reminiscent of the first couple seasons, just that banter, that sisterhood. So I am hoping that that is real. And you have me super curious with this Kelly storyline. I feel like she has always kind of been a sidekick, side character, and I would love to see, even with them mentioning her podcast and the different things that kind of were kicking up, you know, in her character this episode. I'm curious to see if we're going to get more of a Kelly-centered storyline this season, which would be nice, because I think she definitely didn't get enough airtime in the past couple episodes.
I'm glad that we saw some of how Issa and Molly repaired their friendship. Obviously not in real time, but like the actual awkwardness you go through and the actual efforts that you make to repair a relationship. Because it's not just, I'm sorry, okay, I'm sorry, all right, now we back good. Like, it's a process. But when you really love somebody and both of you are like, okay, I can see how I was wrong, I can see how you were wrong, I don't want to throw away everything we have because of this, then it can be a really beautiful thing to come back from something like that.
And a humbling. So, the humbling, you know?
And I think, again, we have to give all praises to Dr. Rhonda for getting Molly together. I think Molly is going to keep growing in therapy.
Love it.
I think she and Issa are going to be extremely tight this season. They're for each other for some very difficult moments. And I think she is going to learn how to be okay without a partner. Like, not letting her relationship status define her worth to herself.
Come on. Or her work.
I think she's right.
I'm hoping that too, because she's very attached to these identities.
That might be harder. I was going to say that might be harder, because Molly the overachiever.
You know what? I'd love to see it. I'd love for her to just shed all that shit by the end of the season. I am not someone that's like, being a lawyer is not all who I am. Looking for a man is not all who I am. And she's going to move to Bali with her dog and just like, you know, have a little house. I bet you, watch, I'm calling it now. It's going to be this shedding of identities that she is like the things that people project on you and you look to them to validate your existence. I feel like she's going to be like, fuck all of this. I'm happy by myself. Like, truly happy. Yeah. I would love that.
I can definitely see her saying that. It's just difficult for me to see her
this quickly
applying this to her professional life as well.
Right.
Like, maybe in the last episode she'll turn in her resignation letter or something.
Come on. But let's see it.
Okay.
Go to a retreat.
Remember when you called the couch? Yes. Remember when you called them being on the couch?
I literally called every ending. Give it to us. Give us her walking through a field taking off clothes. Come on.
But yeah, I think Kelly is going to switch careers. She's an accountant, right? She does something with money or numbers.
Oh, yeah, true.
She does something like that. I think she's going to switch up her career. And I also think maybe she is going to realize, or not realize, I'll say I see her perhaps moving away from the group. Maybe feeling like she has outgrown these people.
Wow.
Maybe.
I would love that too. That's another important storyline. Outgrowing your friend group and being bold enough to accept that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see the girls rally around her as she tries to, find her identity, trying on lots of them. So, maybe we'll see the girls rally around her.
Yeah.
But I think if she doesn't get the support she needs, then
that's it.
I see her being like, it's time for me to switch things up and be around people who make me feel good about myself. But, they did also have that really sweet memorial for her at the diner. So I could be completely off track about that. But
good.
I just see Kelly making...
What if she moves to France?
Kelly making big changes.
Try on one of those identities.
You don't have to move to France. You go to Toronto. They speak French.
You're like, girl, go to Little Haiti.
You ain't gotta do all that. Right. Go to real Haiti.
We'll see.
Oh, but yeah, that wraps up the first episode. I'm very excited for the season.
Hey, brr.
Well, don't forget to join us in the conversation on social media using hashtag Insecurity. We cannot wait to hear your thoughts and predictions about the season. Let us know how you're feeling. Are you proud of Molly? Because I am. I will give it to her because I really was stank towards her last season, but happy for that girl now. However you're feeling, hit us up, share with us. Fran, what else you got before we leave?
I want to know what you guys think is going to shift too. Like, do you guys see the storylines we predicted? Do you see something completely different? Let us know because we'll be reading your answers in the hashtag.
Watch Insecure every Sunday night, 10 p.m. HBO.
And don't forget to tune in to the official recap podcast, the Insecure After Show, Insecuritea, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts and on HBO Max.
We'll see y'all next week.
Bye. Insecurity, the Insecure After Show, is a Loudspeaker Studios production in association with Team Epiphany. We're your hosts, Crissle and Fran. Our producers, Matt Raz.
The executive producers are Chris Morrow and Matt Raz. Our associate producer is Tyrell Worley. And the show is engineered and edited by Dwayne Crawford. Thanks, everybody.
Brr.